it will be Kenny Robles. Kenny Robles will start from the pole position and on the front row with Laurent Carrier beside him. Pole position donc pour Kenny Robles dans cette catégorie Master qui va s'élancer dans quelques instants avec à ses côtés Laurent Carrier. Une première ligne tricolore alors qu'on voit ici les pilotes se préparer. Ils ont Andrea Rocco ici, le pilote italien qui nous a fait un petit signe à la caméra et ça va être la présentation des pilotes qui vont venir le long de cette ligne droite de départ pour cette présentation. Et ensuite, ça sera la course bien évidemment. Une course qui va changer de format, puisque jusqu'à présent on était sur 13 minutes plus un tour. Et bien là, désormais, ça va être 16 minutes plus un tour. So, we are just waiting for the driver's presentation for the master category. And the grand final will be on 16 minutes running time plus one lap. 16 running time plus one lap. And within a few minutes, I guess we're going to have the ceremony master driver presentation. And I could tell you that it's really, really hot out there. And they are very brave to wait like this under the sun, under the heat, just to make the ceremony master driver presentation underway. There will be 35 drivers in this grand final master category. So the first row was Kenny Robles and Laurent Carrier. Second row will be Olivier Laurenceau from Switzerland and Virgile Monami from France. Third row will be Geoffroy Galichet, France, Jordi Plana, Spain. Fourth row for Sébastien Delorme and Michael Hubermulin, pardon. Fifth row, Fabrizio Anello and Brice Nguessan. Sixth row for Johan Hérissé et Joël Faure. Seventh row for David Tauvin and José Francisco González. Eighth row for Laurent Cuendo and Thomas Burchell. Ninth row for Andrea Rocco alongside Ruslan Desnis Ruslan. 10th row for Stéphane Boisserie and José Pires. 11th row for Yves Meillet and Gustavo Zimmermann Martins. 12th row for Olivier Barberis Negra and Franck Vergnol. 13th row for Vincenzo Panaino, and Vladislav Alagverdov. 14th row for Ricardo Ribeiro and Christian Cohen. 15th row for Aurélien Derisson and Jérôme Huet. 16th row for Maïko Kopf and Fabrice Lanus. 17th row for Romain Huet and Marco Leur. And last row for Nadim Haddad. So this will be the grid for the Master Final. And within a few minutes now we will have the Master Driver ceremony, Master Driver presentation. And if you are alongside the track, the Le Mans track, all these drivers deserve a massive round of applause for this final. Voilà, dans quelques instants donc la cérémonie de présentation des pilotes avec Kenny Robles et Laurent Carrier qui vont rentrer aux avant-postes et qui vont venir se présenter à vous sur la ligne droite de départ. Voilà tous ces pilotes Et encore une fois, si vous êtes présent sur la voie des stands, eh bien, merci de les applaudir parce qu'ils méritent une belle salve d'applaudissements. Pardon. Ils sont bien courageux, ces pilotes, de venir devant vous comme ça, sous cette chaleur, juste avant leur grande finale. Donc, Kenny Robles, Laurent Carrier, Olivier Laurençon, Virgile Monami, Geoffroy Galichet, Jordi Plana, Sébastien Delorbe, Michael Hubermulin, Fabrizio Anello, Brice Nguessan, Johan Hérissé, Joël Faure, David Tauvin, José Francisco González, Laurent Quendo, Thomas Burchard, Andrea Rocco, Denis Ruslan, Stéphane Boisserie, José Pires, Yves Meillet, Gustavo Martin Zimmermann, Olivier Barberis Negra, Franck Vergnol, Vincenzo Panaino, Vladislav Alakverdov, Ricardo Ribeiro, Christian Cohen, Aurélien Derisson, Jérôme Huet, Maïko Kopf, Fabrice Lanus, Romain Huet, Marc Holler et Nadim Haddad sont les 35 pilotes qui seront présents au départ sur cette finale Master, une finale qui va être disputée donc sur 16 minutes, plus un tour. Voilà, je crois que vous pouvez les applaudir. All these drivers need a massive round of applause for their final race of the weekend. This is the master category, and a big round of applause, yes, for all these drivers. They are the best and the top 35 driver in this master category. Okay, last picture, I guess, for all these finalists, and then they will be able to return to their car because it's quite hot out there.
I was going to say the age limit for masters is 40, so
the minimum age.
minimum.
Yeah.
So everyone, I mean, I as long as there's like a defibrillator back in the pits, because you've got to walk out here, then run back to your carts. I'm tired just looking at them. Look at that. There's not a full head of hair amongst them. Fantastic. And you know what? This is, karting is not a young person's sport. In FIA karting, yeah, they just want everyone to race seniors at 14 and then go and join the money-making carousel of Formula 4, Formula 3 and what have you. But these amateur drivers, again, they've got families, they've got wives, they've got girlfriends, they've got children who are all watching them, and why not? They should celebrate as much as everybody else, even more so, because of course motorsport inherently is a dangerous activity. You can have all the safety equipment in the world, but motorsport is dangerous. Those 35 gentlemen have all got to go to work on Monday, and they can't go to work if they're in plaster after crashing their cart. So their risk is just as great as anyone else's. They've got a family to provide for. They might be business owners with staff that count on them to put food on the table. And again, not all of them are best of friends, but there is a good camaraderie amongst them. Andrea Rocco there in the PFV race suit. Thomas Burchard in the blue race suit and the white lapels. There is Virgile Monami with the JNK logo on his race suit. As we look, Kenny Robles will start this race 8 points in front of Laurent Carrier. Any of them out there in the middle of that Neo suit, that is Spain's Jose González Francisco. I did get drunk with him in Campillos last year. He can drive, he can also drink, not at the same time, but yeah, man can put them away. Brice and Gesson at the back there with the glasses on. And now the pit lane awaits. It is going to be three. They're the three longest races, 16 minutes. There is Leo Peltier sat in his handy cart. Now, well, Leo, mine, his right hand, it works enough to hold the umbrella. And I spoke to him and his mum, and he's got the biggest smile on his face for just being part of this event. And, yeah, with that system, there's Frank Vignole. It's actually Vignole. But for artistic license purposes, Frank Vignole, look at that, just shaking the hands of the other drivers. That's what it's all about. And we look at the back of the pack. Now, these are the drivers. Do you know what? Someone's got to come last. One of these drivers is going to finish last, but they've earned their right to be here. And, hey, there's no shame in finishing last at a global final. And the minimum age is 40.
Even the last one of this race will be the first one of the other race.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
there's no loser, in fact. It's all winners because it's all pleasure and it's all for sure.
Absolutely.
After you need to succeed for sure to get a better feeling. But to be in this main final, it's already a success.
Already a success to even be here. There is Laurent Carrier. There is Leo Peltier in the Saudi car umbrella. And there's Leo's mum at the side being proud, taking a photo. And why not? When sometimes nature, life, when life throws you lemons, you've just got to make lemonade. And that young man driving cart number 99 there, he's made a lot of lemonade. Look at the smile on his face, chatting. Just maybe he'll qualify next year and we'll have our first disabled driver with a handicart system. On his thing. There is some of the colleagues from Captive Racing. He deserves to have someone to hold his umbrella. He needs, he needs a grid girl. He's got a grid boy, or a grid man instead. But there we go.
I thought he was driving with the umbrella.
Well, I thought the wheelchair was going to have a lap at the track. Yeah, like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
So
Marty.
Huh?
Marty.
Marty, yeah. Marty, this is when this hits 88 miles an hour, where we're going, we don't need roads. Carrier needs to overturn an 8-point deficit to beat Kenny Robles. Robles just behind young Leo Peltier there in the white, black and lime green race suit. Brice and Gesson in cart number 25. No, that's Olivier Laurenson. Sorry. Third of the grid. Virgile Monami will start fourth. Geoffrey Galichet, cart number 10. You see him adjusting his NASA panel there. He's got the French tricolour coloured cart skins suit. Jordi Plana on the outside of row number 4. Sébastien Delorme, Michael Ubermühlin. Fabrizio Anello, number 8, very unlucky. He has been, I would say, the closest rival that Kenny Robles and Laurent Carrier has had. He got a disqualification in one of the heats on Thursday, which has cost him so many points. He is not going to win, but he is very, very quick. He could be, that driver there, he could be the disruptor in this race. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. He's not going to be champion, but he is quick. There's number 13 driver behind him, Jon Hrise. And I've got to say, I almost thought, as Fabrizio forgot to put his gloves on, but he's just got skin-coloured gloves.
that was my thought yesterday. Yeah. Because I said, he have no gloves. It's quite painful, no? And it's not very professional, but in fact it was skinny gloves.
Skin gloves. Now, Thomas Burchard, driver number 32, blue race suit. It's gone past us. His dog, Martin, travels the world with him. Martin is now an older gentleman. He would be a supermaster. He walks around with a GoPro on his thing, but he's not here at the circuit today because it's very hot and he's 12. And for an American bloodhound, 12 is a grand old age indeed. But he made it onto the stage for the driver's presentation the other night, did Martin. Just one of the many stories that makes this event so special. There's another one. Leo Peltier, 15 years old, leading the field on the parade lap, controlling the throttle with his left hand, his brake with his left foot. He's steering predominantly with his left hand as well. He has just enough movement in his right hand to grip the steering wheel, but not enough muscular definition to turn the steering wheel. So, like I said, he said, left hand good, right hand, nah. But it needs some work. Well, who is going to be our first international finals champion of 2026? The Masters. France have got a very good chance. 4 of the top 5 drivers to win the race. Winning the race is one thing, but this is a points accumulation. Kenny Robles doesn't necessarily need to win. He just needs to finish within 8 points. When they complete lap number 1, we will see the updated points, and then we will try and guide you, the viewers back home, we are so grateful. We are on course to top 100,000 live stream views across the 3MK Events YouTube channel. So WFR TV, Sergio Big Guns, and the rest of the incredible crew, race producers Milana and Nuno, and the camera crews around the circuit. Yeah, over 100,000 people have watched the last 3.5 days of action here at Le Mans. Thank you for joining us. Let's hope that the racing now lives up to the hype.
Allez, c'est le moment de vérité. Alors on vous rappelle qu'au niveau du classement par points, c'est Kenny Robles pour l'instant qui mène avec 8 points d'avance sur Laurent Carrier. Donc il va falloir à la fois surveiller le résultat sur la piste, mais aussi le résultat au cumul des points pour connaître le nom du champion 2026 de cette catégorie Master. Et on pourra donc avoir un vainqueur pour la course, pour la finale bien sûr, et un vainqueur au général qui pourrait être différent. Voilà, les pilotes sont sous les ordres.
Problem. Sorry, a problem.
Yeah.
Driver number 22 at the back of the field, Marco Lauer.
Okay.
For Germany is now okay. Well, it is okay.
Voilà, un petit problème sur un kart d'un des concurrents qui était en fond de grille, mais tout semble rentrer dans l'ordre. Donc maintenant, on va certainement pouvoir donner le départ. Et on a vu d'ailleurs Kenny Robles se retourner vers Olivier Laurençon en lui disant « Bon allez, on fait notre course intelligemment, on l'a fait ensemble. Mais on va voir ce que ça va donner. Le départ est imminent maintenant. Le directeur de course va abaisser le drapeau vert et ça sera parti pour 16 minutes plus un tour. Et c'est parti. Voilà, départ à l'instant même de cette finale avec un très bon départ de Laurent Carrier. Laurent Carrier qui va plonger en tête dans le premier virage. Oui, c'est le cas. Laurent Carrier qui plonge en tête. Et derrière Kenny Robles qui suit. C'est globalement la même physionomie de course que tout à l'heure qu'on avait vu dans la Super Hit.
And a couple of drivers running wide through turn number 2. We're 4 wide in the middle of the pack. And, this isn't going to go well. How many get spat out? Not, wow. Well done, the Masters. They made it 4 wide through 3 consecutive corners, and they all managed to stay on the circuit. Carrier has the lead. Robles second. Now we're going to see what Kenny Robles has to do. All leaning on each other through the chicane. Great stuff there. Leaning is one thing. They gave each other room. Nobody was fired off. Robles is back in the lead. Kenny Robles has repassed Laurent Carrier with Olivier Laurenson and is that Geoffrey Galichet in fourth position. Laurenson to second place.
And Laurenson is third on the standing, point standing, I mean.
Yep.
So this is a good move, for him. Voilà, on a la fin du premier tour avec Kenny Robles qui a repris les commandes de la course après un départ un tout petit peu moins performant que Laurent Carrier. Et malheureusement, Laurent Carrier a perdu une deuxième position puisque c'est désormais Olivier Laurenson qui est en deuxième position. Quatrième, on retrouve Geoffroy Galichet et les 4 pilotes qui sont en train un petit peu de s'échapper là.
Well, I've got to say, there are so many extra points on off of this race. The finals are so highly weighted so Robles 244 points with the lead. So we start this 80 points for a win. Carrier 221, Laurenson 211, Galichet 192, Monami 189. Robles cannot allow too many people to get past him. That 8-point advantage that he has earned over the course of 3 heat races and a super heat and 3 qualifying sessions means very little when it comes to the main event. Carrier needs to get on with it and get past Laurenson, and I think if Carrier even finishes first and Robles second, that could almost be enough. We'll have to double check, I can't confirm that, but 5 away at the front. Jordi Plana at the back of this group in cart number 15. Penalty, no penalties just yet. Warning flags coming out for Laurent Carrier, and I was looking down. Johan Harise was very upset with somebody. Again, lots of arm waving as Harise drops down the order. Thomas Bouchard up into 13th position behind Jose Francisco Gonzalez, Joel Faure, Laurent Quendo, Fabrizio Anello, Sebastian Delorme, Michael Ubermüller, Virgil Monami. And that's 6th through 12. The top 5, Robles, Laurenson, Carrier, Galichet, Plana.
Allez, nouveau tour en tête bouclé dans quelques instants par Kenny Robles et je pense que c'est la meilleure façon d'entamer cette finale. Lui qui mène déjà au classement par points, s'il va s'imposer, eh bien il n'y aura pas de problème, il n'y aura pas besoin de compter, il n'y aura pas besoin de faire de calcul. Et derrière, attention, parce que Olivier Laurenson, lui aussi, joue peut-être une deuxième position finale avec Laurent Carrier. Pour l'instant, Laurent Carrier est en 3e position, mais s'il arrive à passer le pilote suisse, il sécuriserait pour l'instant sa 2e place au classement général. Un peu plus loin, parce que vous l'avez vu, la différence est faite. On a 3 pilotes qui se sont détachés, Robles, Laurenson, Carrier, et derrière c'est Jordi Plana qui mène la chasse pour recoller au trio de tête.
I can look on the screen on the start-finish lock. It says driver 15 plus 3 seconds. That's Jordi Plana in 5th position. There it now flashed up on the timing and scoring monitor. So Plana, he will drop down to 10th at the moment. Laurenson has got a great run. Olivier Laurenson has got a good run down the Cheminot Booth Straight. He chooses to push Kenny Robles, not pass him, just give a bit of a bump draft into Virage de Technopark and then through Pitts Bend into the Curve de Tribune. Across the start-finish line. Robles looks over his shoulder, gives Laurenson a bit of a nod to say, okay, let's go. Laurenson on 211 points, Robles on 244. Now, if I'm going to start saying things about what drivers need to do. Please don't think that I am biased one driver over the other. But Olivier Laurenson needs to drag Kenny Robles into a big fight. Laurenson can still outscore Robles, but he needs Robles to finish down the order. I'm not saying that he should do anything illegal. No, please don't think I'm doing that. But he needs to get at Kenny Robles, drag him into a battle, bring the chasing pack. At the moment, there's 2, 4, 6 of them in a line. He needs to make that. There's another 4 carts. Mon Ami, Delorme, Quendo and Anello behind him. He needs to bring all those 10 drivers into a back. So Laurent Con, with 10 minutes to go, if he wants to win the Saudi World Series International Final Championship, he needs to start dragging Robles into a fight. And Kenny Robles needs to be aware. DTA in the final. Don't trust anyone.
Allez, Kenny Robles toujours aux avant-postes avec dans son sillage Olivier Laurençon qui va essayer de prendre le meilleur sur le leader pour essayer lui aussi de progresser dans la hiérarchie. Pour l'instant, au classement par points, il reste 3e avec cette 2e position. Et puis tout à l'heure, lorsque Robles s'est retourné, bien voir Laurençon intercalé entre lui-même et Laurent Carrier, eh bien c'est une bonne nouvelle parce que et Laurent Carrier qui a perdu une autre position. Laurent Carrier qui est 4e désormais. C'est Geoffroy Galichet qui est passé en 3e position. Geoffroy Galichet qui fait indirectement les affaires de Kenny Robles par rapport à Laurent Carrier, dont les points partent un petit peu en fumée actuellement parce qu'il est en difficulté. Alors je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé là. Il a perdu un petit peu de terrain et il va se faire attaquer au freinage de la ligne droite et du virage du Technopark. Et là encore, il repasse avec Galichet, le numéro 10, qui prend l'avantage. Et Laurent Carrier, là, qui a perdu énormément de terrain sur ce dernier tour. Il est désormais en 5e position, Laurent Carrier. Et Olivier Laurençon n'est plus qu'à 5 points au classement général par rapport à Laurent Carrier. Donc il faut maintenant qu'Olivier Laurençon passe devant Kenny Robles.
Yeah, terrible lap for Laurent Carrier. He drops to 216 points. Robles 244, Carrier 216, Laurent Con 211, Galichet 192, Mon Ami 188, Ubermühlen 180, Plana 177, Delorme 176. Laurent Con at the moment seems content to follow Kenny Robles. Is he thinking he's just trying to guarantee himself a place and consolidate a place on the outright podium? Does he realise that there is a way he can still become the overall champion? If he wants to do it though, he needs to pass Kenny Robles or start making Kenny Robles defend. I think the best way that Laurençon is going to have to deal with this is number one, because Robles, he won't defend. He's not going to slow himself down. He looks over his shoulder, nods to Laurençon. Laurençon, I would be up the inside of Kenny Robles, alongside him, hassling him, worrying him, forcing him to defend, getting alongside, slowing the pace of the race down to bring Ubermühlen, who now runs in 3rd, Galichet, who now runs in 4th, Carrier, who is in 5th, and then Delorme, Quendo, Plana, Mon Ami and Anello. The top 10 separated by 4 seconds. Then there's a huge gap back to Joel Fauré, Frank Vernole, Francisco Gonzalez, Zimmerman Martins, Burchard, Rocco, Dennis Ruslands, Derison, Boissier, Tovan, Ngessan, Mia, Barbaris Nigra and Pires.
Nouveau tour bouclé pour le leader Kenny Robles qui pour l'instant ne craque pas sous la pression d'Olivier Laurençon. Attention, derrière vous avez le numéro 15 Jordi Plana, mais Jordi Plana n'est pas 3e physiquement parlant puisqu'il a une pénalité de 3 secondes qui lui a été infligée en début d'épreuve. Donc actuellement il est Jordi Plana, il est 8e, donc ce qui remet un petit peu Laurent Carrier dans le game, si l'on peut s'exprimer ainsi, parce que Laurent Carrier perd moins de place que prévu. Mais si d'aventure Olivier Laurençon trouve l'ouverture sur Kenny Robles, ça pourrait changer la physionomie du championnat, en tout cas pour la 2e et la 3e position. Pour l'instant, Kenny Robles maîtrise parfaitement cette finale. Il reste un peu plus de 5 minutes 40 à parcourir, plus un tour. Kenny Robles file pour l'instant vers peut-être une consécration.
Out of the switchback, the flip-flop section on to Sheminobu Straight. The time is 3:45 p.m. in the afternoon. The sun beats down, temperatures still in excess of 30 degrees. Laurenson's got a good run. He looks to see if he's got any help from behind. Ubermühlen is not, Plana is not in a position to help. Plana, he is 8th overall at the moment with his penalty. And I have to say, well, as Vincenzo Pagnano gets a penalty, a 3-second penalty, as does Marco Lauer, that standards have been very good so far. What does Olivier Laurenson do? Time is ticking away. At the moment, he's safely in 3rd position. One pass might just get him 2nd overall ahead of Carrier. But the longer this race goes on, the more spread out things get, the fewer drivers Laurenson has that he could potentially use to his advantage to force or to push Robles back down the order. Kenny Robles qualified for 2 of the 3 heat races on pole position, and he has not stopped being at the front since. You can see Galichet pointing. Oh no, it was Galichet and Ubermühlen trying to work together. Still, Laurenson doesn't make the moves. France, Switzerland lead the way into turn number 3. It's not happening yet for Laurenson.
Olivier Laurenson, toujours dans le sillage de Kenny Robles pour peut-être la victoire et peut-être même un peu plus au classement général par points pour le pilote suisse. Mais pour l'instant, Kenny Robles est intraitable. Aucune erreur, aucune opportunité pour l'instant laissée au pilote suisse pour le dépasser. Mais attention, nous allons maintenant arriver dans le money time, si l'on peut s'exprimer ainsi, puisque nous allons rentrer dans quelques secondes dans les 3 dernières minutes de cette finale ici dans la catégorie Master. Et j'ai l'impression que Jordi Plana a un petit... Ah non, ça y est, il est là. J'avais l'impression que Jordi Plana avait un peu lâché prise, mais Jordi Plana, je vous le rappelle, il n'est pas 3e, il est actuellement 8e. Je ne sais pas s'il est au courant, s'il a bien vu sa pénalité, mais si lui aussi rentre dans la bagarre entre Robles et Laurenson, eh bien ça pourrait avoir des répercussions. Et puis derrière, on a vu que Ubermühlen et Galichet sont roue dans roue pour faire le maximum pour revenir dans les derniers instants. Mais vous le voyez, l'écart est encore un petit peu grand pour être définitivement comblé. Allez, Olivier Laurenson, c'est maintenant qu'il faut passer à l'attaque. Il reste moins de 2 minutes 20 maintenant, moins de 2 minutes 20 plus un tour.
Here we go, the final 2 minutes and 18 seconds plus a lap. And for the first time all race, Kenny Robles has got some clean air. Plana to the inside. That's going to disrupt Laurenson. But Plana then runs wide. Has that given Kenny Robles the title? Olivier Laurenson now gets a push from Jordi Plana. Michael Ubermühlen is 4th on the road, 3rd in the race in the number 23 cart. Then it is Galichet, Quendo, Plana, Delorme. Carrier has fallen to 8th place now. Laurent Carrier is now, he's just gone back up to 7th. He's only 3 points in front of Olivier Laurenson. Laurenson needs to make a move on Robles if he wants to take 2nd in the overall standings. At the moment, he may not be aware of the point situation. Robles has ridden his luck. He's not defended. Maybe Laurenson just didn't know, but we're coming towards the final minute, and with a 30-point advantage over Carrier, 244 points. Plays 214 for Carrier, plays 211 for Laurenson. This is now Kenny Robles' race and championship to lose.
Allez, nous allons rentrer bientôt dans les 2 derniers tours. C'est toujours Kenny Robles qui mène devant Olivier Laurenson qui ne trouve pas l'ouverture. Et en 3e position, on a Michael Ubermühlen. le numéro 23. Et attention parce qu'on a toujours Jordi Plana dans ce groupe de tête qui pourrait venir un petit peu jouer les dynamiteurs. Alors encore une fois, je ne sais pas s'il a bien capté qu'il avait 3 secondes de pénalité, mais là il est en train un petit peu de fausser le jeu quelque part entre ces 3 pilotes qui se disputent le leadership, qui se disputent même la victoire. On est à 5 secondes maintenant, 5 secondes avant la fin du temps réglementaire. Les pilotes, lorsqu'ils vont repasser sur la ligne de chronométrage, rentreront dans le dernier tour. Est-ce que Kenny Robles va tenir jusqu'au bout?
Next time by will be 1 lap to go. Lawrenson, second position. He needs to pick up 1 place. Carrier, I'm looking down in P7, is just 1/10 of a second in front of Delorme. Jordi Plana, even with his penalty, is ahead of Laurent Carrier at the moment. So Lawrenson's got to make the move on Robles. Lawrenson has to make the move if he wants to take P2 in the overall standings. And he's got 1 more lap to go. Carrier under pressure from Delorme. Can Sebastien Delorme in car number 30, could he help Laurent Carrier? That's the next question. Lawrenson looks over his shoulder. Kenny Robles has been absolutely magnificent. They're fighting over third. This could help Laurent Carrier. Jordi Plana defending and fighting for third place with Michael Ubermurin. Oh, Carrier like an absolute cannonball. I'm not sure what happened there. Was that Carrier? Possibly in the number 19 kart? We'll have to wait and see. I didn't get the number, but there was one driver there through the curves over there. That could get interesting afterwards. Here we go, though. And Kenny Robles, now there's the move. That was a tactic. Lawrenson was going for second overall, not the win. Switzerland and Coca-Cola are going to come across the line first.
Olivier Laurençon qui a vu Kenny Robles lui ouvrir la porte dans la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, et Kenny Robles qui lève les bras parce que c'est lui qui gagne au final, et du coup Olivier Laurençon passe en deuxième position aux dépens de Laurent Carrier. Course pratiquement d'équipe entre Olivier Laurençon et Kenny Robles. Kenny Robles qui s'est retourné dans la ligne droite, il a fait signe à Olivier Laurençon, tiens tu peux passer là, je ne fermerai pas la porte, et du coup Olivier Laurençon gagne la course, fait coup double, et il devient deuxième au classement général par points.
The celebrations and the high fives go on because on the last lap, the move that Kenny Robles didn't fight it. He was like, Olivier, you have pushed me to a title. I will now not fight if you go for the win. Lawrenson made the move and went for the win. That gave him 221 points. Laurent Carrier finished 6th and drops to 3rd on the last lap. So your race winner, Switzerland. That is the second win of the week for Switzerland. Louis Hutter took Switzerland's other triumph yesterday in, I think, the junior racing that you were covering. Louis Hutter for Switzerland. And now Olivier Lawrenson is a winner. Unofficially, the number 36 gets a penalty at the end. Yves Mehy. Here's a look at the highlights. Kenny Robles loses out to Laurent Carrier at the start. What happened to Laurent Carrier, Eric? I do not know. He was leading, and then the camera followed the main part of the field through the first couple of corners, and by the time he got to the back, the banking, Robles was back in front.
Voilà, on revoit les meilleurs moments de cette finale master avec eh bien ce coup de maître de Kenny Robles et Olivier Laurençon. Je vous l'avais dit, on les avait vus discuter, échanger sur la grille de départ. Kenny Robles s'était retourné vers Olivier Laurençon en disant ok, on fait la course comme ça. Et de fait, eh bien, après, il l'avait laissé passer.
Well, that didn't help there. Geoffrey Galachet and Laurent Carrier coming together, going into Pitts Bend. Jordi Plana diving to the inside. Couldn't get the wagon slow down on the apex. Great second view multi-angle replay here from WFR TV. Laurenson says, what are you doing? Carries on though. Now, Laurenson had to do some defending. Planner in the number 15 cart, but he was carrying a penalty and he eventually finishes 10th. He was about 4th or 5th. Fourth or 5th with the penalty. But then the last couple of laps, the battling dropped him down the order. He eventually finishes 8th overall. Ubermühlin to the inside. Well, Ubermühlin 6th in the points standings. Now, penalties. Geoffrey Galichet gets a 3-second penalty for causing a collision. There we are. Case in point. And I think, you don't need to be Hercule Poirot to solve that one. That is signed, sealed, and case closed. Geoffrey Galichet is forced back, will eventually finish 9th. There's the signal, say, okay, you go. Celebrations from all three as they cross the line. Laurenson, Robles, Ubermühlin. The race win for Laurenson. The podium for Ubermühlin. The title for Robles. And Geoffrey Galichet has lost 4th place overall because of that penalty. Virgile Monami with 188 points finishes ahead of Galichet. Ubermühlin is 6th overall. Delorme is 7th and Planner